I am a Canaanite woman. My daughter was demon-possessed and suffered terribly for years. The demons would make her do terrible things to herself and anyone who dared get near her. I love her very much and have tried all these years to do what I could for her, to help her. One day I heard that Jesus was passing by, and I hurried out to find him. Even though I am a Gentile and not a Jew, I knew that he was the only hope that my daughter had. I approached him and said, "Lord, Son of David, please have mercy on me and heal my daughter." His disciples did not want Jesus to help me because I was not Jewish. But Jesus said to me, "Woman, you have great faith, and your request is granted." My daughter was healed from that very hour that he spoke. Because of what Jesus has done for me and my daughter, I know that the King of the Jews is my King too.
You are my King. You are the Lamb, Lion of Judah, Seed of Abraham, the Holy One, God's only Son. You are the King of who I am.
I have been paralyzed all my life. I heard that Jesus was coming to Capernaum, and I knew that if I could get to him, he could heal me. I wanted to be able to walk like my friends and family. The crowd where he was had grown so big that my friends tore a hole in the roof and let me down through it. When Jesus saw the faith of my friends, he said to me, "Son, your sins are forgiven. Get up, take up your mat and walk." Immediately I stood up in front of everyone, took what I had been lying on, and went home praising God. Everyone was amazed and gave praise to God. They were filled with awe and said, "We have seen remarkable things today. Because I was paralyzed and now can walk, I can truly say that the King of the Jews is my King too."
You are my King. You are the Lamb, Lion of Judah, Seed of Abraham, the Holy One, God's only Son. You are the King of who I am.
I had an issue of blood for 12 years and suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors. I spent all that I had, yet instead of getting better, I grew worse. When I heard that Jesus was coming this way, I thought if I could but touch the hem of his garment, I can be healed. So I pushed my way through the crowd and I reached down and I touched his clothes, and immediately my bleeding stopped. And I felt in my body that I was now free from my suffering. Jesus turned around and saw me. I came and I fell at his feet, and trembling with fear, I told him the whole truth. He looked at me and said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be free from your suffering." Because he cares so much for me. The King of the Jews is my King too.
Right. Amen.
You are my King. You are the Lamb, Lion of Judah, Seed of Abraham, the Holy One.
One day as I was sitting beside the road, I heard the voice of many men as they walked by me. One of them said, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents," said Jesus, "but he is blind so that the works of God might be displayed in him." I was so excited because I'd heard of this man called Jesus that could heal people with a word or a touch. Then I heard him spit on the ground. He made some mud with the saliva and put it on my eyes. Then he told me to go wash in the pool of Siloam. I did, and now I can see. I ran into the village and began to tell everyone how I had met Jesus and how he had made my blinded eyes to see. I tell everyone I meet about this man, the King of the Jews, and because of what he did for me, I now know that also the King of the Jews is my King too.
I am Simon from Cyrene. As I was on my way in from the country, bringing my goods to market, I was caught up in a large crowd that was following Jesus of Nazareth. I immediately realized that they meant to kill him. I was horrified as I watched the soldiers beat him. As he became exhausted from the beatings and the weight of the heavy cross he carried, suddenly I was seized by one of the officers, one of the soldiers, told to take the cross and to carry it behind Jesus. I quickly laid my belongings down and picked up the heavy cross that was already stained with blood from the lashings Jesus had endured as he made his way up towards Golgotha. I learned a valuable lesson that day as I gladly laid my burdens down and picked up the cross that would bear my sin and shame. I gladly carried the cross the rest of the way because the King of the Jews is my King too.
Centurion. I was there that day as the man Jesus was mocked, beaten, and hung on a cross to die. I did not believe that he was the King of the Jews as he claimed. I gladly took part in the beating and the mocking. My fellow centurions and I took turns welding the lash across his back and legs. We made a crown of thorns and jammed it down onto his brow. We laughed as the blood ran down and dripped from his feet. At about noon, darkness came over all the land, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. I heard this man, Jesus, call out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When I saw what had happened, I knew that we had crucified an innocent man. Surely this was the only begotten Son of God. What had we done? I fell to my knees and cried. Because of what I saw that day on Golgotha, I now know that Jesus, King of the Jews, is now my King too.
Yes,